Good evening. I believe it's 326th of my daily reading. I'm going to read out of Quiet Mind, 1 Minute Retreats from a Busy World by David Koontz. And this one is called The Luxury of Solitude. The only true time which man can properly call his own is that which he has all to himself. The rest is other people's time. By Charles Lamb. Let's say you have a particularly hard week coming up, a week overfilled with difficult and demanding challenges. You get tired just thinking about it. This is the time to plan ahead for a luxurious time of solitude for yourself. To balance your life, when you are finished with living on other people's time, you need to plan a time of your own, a time of solitude and peace. Planning ahead brings a unique benefit. As you plan and contemplate your time alone, you bring some of that energy to the present moment and thus feel a bit more relaxed right now. As you go about meeting the challenges of the week, in the middle of a tense meeting, at a consultation with the doctor, while negotiating a difficult contract, while traveling to a confrontational encounter, you can remember that soon you will leave all this behind. Later, when you have basked in your time of solitude, you will be more capable of again being with people and facing a demanding week in a more fulfilling way. After solitude, your presence in society will be more authentic. Today, plan a time of solitude. I had to reread a part because my mind went elsewhere. Sorry. Yes. So schedule that in on your calendar each week. Set aside your solitude time at the beginning of the week or the week before for the next week, depending on how quickly your schedule gets filled up. It's kind of like they say when you get paid, to pay yourself first, which means put a little in your savings first before you spend the other money on bills or fun or whatever, right? So it's the same with giving yourself time to yourself, solitude. And it's interesting because many people I know avoid making time for themselves. They avoid solitude. It's like they live in fear of it. They are afraid to be alone with themselves. Now, it's interesting when you think about it, because if you're afraid of being alone with yourself, if you really don't much like your own company, then how can you imagine other people would enjoy spending time with you? Something to think about, right? But really what the issue is a lot of times is when you're alone with yourself, you start having thoughts of things that create anxiety and unrest. There's wounds that come up that are unhealed. And so oftentimes people go and they keep themselves so occupied and busy because they don't want to face those thoughts. But it's very important to face those thoughts in order to move past them. Perhaps you realize that there's someone you need to have a conversation with, to bury the hatchet, as they say. You realize maybe you've offended someone and you need to make peace with them. Or, more oftentimes, you find that someone has hurt you in some type of way. and you just push it to the back of your mind, never bringing it up again, although you may have to face this person on a regular basis. It could be a close relative, even a parent. And we feel that as the child, we have no right to bring our concerns to their attention, to explain to them how things affected you by the way you grew up. And oftentimes you'll find when you have that conversation that they feel bad about, certain things that they did as you were a child, but they don't know how to address it with you now. And it's weighing heavy on them just as it's weighing heavy on you. So what a relief it is to them as well to be able to have that conversation with you so they can ask for you to forgive them. It works for both of you, for both of your benefit, okay? So anyway, I know that was a lot to chew. And I have to get on my frequency machine. So I'm sending out love, light, and healing energy. Ask that you pay it forward and pass it on. And until next time, peace. Later.